Hi, welcome to the Truth Be Told with myself, T Baby, on KUAW Radio. That's knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. If you have a business or an event that you would like sponsor here on KUAW, make sure to send us an email at kuaw985@gmail.com. Um, I'm sorry, I got my volume up here. Yes, we are available 24/7 on the World Wide Web. That's www.kuaw.org. Um, And we're available 24/7 on all social media outlets. So Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, KUAW across the board. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're watching me live on Facebook, hey, and if you're listening to me over there and you would like to watch me live on Facebook, make sure to hop over to our Facebook page, KUAW, and just make sure to like and share with all your family and friends so that they may enjoy the great content that we have here on KUAW Radio. Okay. Hi guys. I know it's been a while since I've actually been live, it seems. Um, I'm just adjusting it. So one thing that I want to talk about that has been an ongoing thing, and I really have a lot of mixed feelings regarding it, but that is the Derek Charvis, I believe is how you say his last name, trial. That's the Minneapolis police officer that knelt on George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and some change, and it resulted in death of George Floyd. We all know this probably happened with like a year or two ago, maybe a year and a half, maybe, when it actually occurred. He is currently on trial right now. You can watch it. It's on CNN and everything. I haven't really been watching it just because of the energy that is acquired, like just going like reenacting these tragic events, these events that cause trauma in our lives and in our community and our nation, So I personally haven't been watching the entire trial, but I have been seeing snippets of testimonies and things like that. And I feel very hopeful that in this situation justice will be rendered. And the reason that I feel very hopeful of that is because just seeing the testimonies like from the police chief, other police officers, saying this was not part of the training. The police chief, he stated that it was totally out of line. He felt that it went against police policies. And they're saying all these things on the stand, and so I know a lot of people, they want to, it's crazy because we get into these situations, and I say we as in our people, we get into these situations and they like to make us the bad guy. Like they want to, like it's, and I don't know if it's necessarily like you deserve to die or the world is a better place without you type of mentality, or what, I really just don't know what it is, because these things have nothing to do with, no matter whether someone did drugs, whether they have previous records or anything like that, like that doesn't take into effect that someone took your life. You know what I'm saying? That his children are missing their father, their brothers, their family members are missing their family member. Like none of that matters, like what you did in, because what we're on trial for, or what you're on trial for, is what your actions caused and what you did in that moment. So yes, I'm just, I'm very, very hopeful that the jury, finds it. But the fact that it's even going to trial, you know what I'm saying? And that's not good enough, because justice needs to be served. However, the fact that we are actually getting to see someone looking, I guess, in a sense that they're going to be held accountable for their actions, when in so many cases we don't see anything, all we hear is no indictment. You know what I'm saying? There's no trials. We don't know. No one gets to, say what they saw or how they felt or how it affected them for people to even be able to, relate. And what's crazy is that I really hope that we can get to the place, and I know I speak a lot, Asiatic, Europeans, and everything like this, because there's a difference in humans, you know what I'm saying, in individuals and everything like that, just like there's a difference amongst, other species of animals. Like, so, and I don't necessarily feel like speaking on those differences or educating ourselves on those differences somehow separate us or make us a racist, or, like however people want to claim it these days. I don't feel like that's done, but we do have to get into the point of where, as a nation of people, or just as people in general, we are seeing other people as just humans. You know what I'm saying? Like just another human being, and treating them accordingly, or treating them fairly, or treating them on the frequency of love. You know what I'm saying? Just being just in our actions. And really, really taking accountability for the choices that we choose to make in moments. You know, I feel like there's a lot of things that we do. Well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that later. I definitely will get to that in a little bit. But I want to talk about so with that, yes, I'm excited about that. I keep you guys posted on what happens and everything with it surrounding it. So hopefully, like I said, we have a good outcome. Now, another thing that's been going on right now is Paul Pierce. So Paul Pierce, and this actually just happened yesterday. Um, Paul Pierce was released from ESPN because over the weekend, Paul Pierce went live on his social media with a video, and he's smoking a joint or a blunt in the video, smoking marijuana in the video. He had some strippers, entertainers there. They were clothed, as like swimsuits, how, whatever. In the video. Now, the fact that he posted this video, you know, see, here's the thing. I don't feel like your job should have the ability to discipline you, or, in this case, fire you for something that you are doing on your personal time. Like, is he wasn't doing anything illegal, you know what I'm saying? And he lives in California. Weed is legal in California, recreational use. um the girls and things, the women and things they weren't there against their will. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can you judge someone about what they do on their personal time, and then now they lose their job behind it, you know? And I don't think that's fair. I think that these jobs get too entangled into the lives of their employees, as far as trying to, like, is in a sense like it's trying to control, like it's trying to control their what they can and cannot do on a level that shouldn't be controlled. And it's just heartbreaking for people to think that they actually have that much power. What they do, they act kind of like holding your livelihood in their hands, just by what you choose to do on the weekend. So I'm just sending out some positive vibes for Paul Pierce. He seems fine about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might have been tired of the job anyway, or something like that. Because, once people get tired of something, just like in relationships, I feel like I'm glowing. But just like in relationships, like people get tired of things, they tend to start doing things kind of like acting out in a sense, where they trying to do things like, okay, I ain't gonna quit, but I'm gonna get fired. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna do some things that I know they might fire me for. Just like in a relationship, start arguments for no reason, and you know what I'm saying, just in the hopes that they'll break up with you, or you know what I'm saying, something like that. So people tend to be comfortable of when to doing those things, to doing things like that as well. However, yeah, back to the thing at hand. And I feel like you guys probably heard me say in similar situations, just like when the thing that was going on with Kareem Hunt, like I didn't feel like in all football players, you know what I'm saying, like that their personal lives should be put on the chopping block as far as their jobs. I don't think that a job should have that type of ability over you. Granted, you don't want certain people, or you don't want certain things to become a representation of your company. So I guess I get protecting your brand. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess it's like it's such an indifference, like you know what I'm saying. There's such an imbalance because you don't want to have it. You want to be free to live your life the way you want to live. That's why social media. Ooh, we gotta be. We have to actually really think about what we do, like the things that we put on social media, the things that we say on social media. Like, yes, we all have the right freedom of speech, the things to be able to do the things that we want to do. But when you are working for certain companies, or when you are in certain perception in certain professions, you do have to kind of monitor how you put yourself out there. Like, as far as like, even as a teacher, like, you don't want your children's parents, coming across your Facebook page or, your Snapchat page. Cause that actually happened to me when I was a preschool teacher, before. It's like, that actually happened to me. Like, a parent had seen me on one of my cousin's Snapchat, just having a good old time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I see you. But social media, man, it's the time that we in, because everybody puts everything on social media these days. Me personally, I feel like it takes away from living in the moment, because we be so concerned about recording what it is that we're doing. But then at the same time, you love to be able to look back and have this type of memories. You love to be able to, like, I love Facebook memories, like just to see things, pick up or whatever, and or what I was doing, years ago or something like that. But see, sometimes people don't like to be reminded of their past, or things like that, or they don't want to see certain things. And so maybe not everyone, loves them, or maybe that's not why they do it. I'm not really sure. But I just do know that we just live in a very technical age right now. So it's like a lot of things are on social medias. And then you get intoxicated. You might not even realize what you're putting on social media if you're one of those type of people. Um, and so, yeah, it's just we have to make better choices and better decisions within ourselves within those moments. Not saying that he did anything wrong, because as long as you can accept the consequences of what it is, whatever it is that you're doing, like, then that's fine. Personally, I definitely feel like that, because I definitely am a type of person, as long as I'm not going to me, it's like lying, right? Because lying is one of those things that I feel like is a choice. In the moment, you have the choice to tell the truth or to tell a lie. And when you're most of the time, people lie out of fear. They either fear the consequences of their actions, or fear how what they
You ready
say or
your
what
home
they
of the
do is
all
going to
new
make
Jamal Bake
how it's going to
Show, and
make
I'm
someone
Jamal
else
Bakes, and
feel,
thank you so
or
very much.
it's basically out of fear. And so, and I learned this at a real young age. Like, my dad used to tell me, you don't do nothing that you can't tell nobody about, or that you're not going to want to tell nobody about, if they come asking. So the fact that you would want to lie on it, like, you have to be able to stand on what it is that you do and what you say. So at the end of the day, if you're fine with, undergoing the consequences of what it is, the content that you put out, then that's fine. Then do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Paul Pierce is really hurting for money. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how bad losing the job at ESPN is really gonna affect him. However, for some people that may not be in that situation, that's just like in normal, professions and things like that, like, we get held to the same standard. Like, people judge you off of what they see on your social media, what you're doing. A lot of people, I say all the time, a lot of people gonna understand that social media is entertainment. And it should be looked at and viewed as such. Now, the live's a little bit different when you got strippers and there all that kind of stuff, all around you. You can't really be like, no, you were really doing this, and then you put it out for the world to see. So again, I don't really agree with jobs just being all in your, like, basically in your business to where they can, affect your livelihood from how you live your life or how you choose to entertain yourself. At the same time, we being in such a technical age and being in such a social media frenzy, stage of life, that's just what the world is in right now. So it's like you do have to be more, um what's the word I'm looking for? Just be more aware, more conscious, I guess, be more aware of what it is that you're actually putting out for the world to see, knowing that you could have repercussions from the things that you are putting out there. But again, if you're fine with the repercussions, do what it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? But if losing your job will hurt you, you might want to think about what you're doing. You might want to think a little bit before you act. But and then again, like I said, live in the moment. We get so caught up. I remember seeing these memes, and there was this guy was talking about, like, his girlfriend's like, I can't even eat my food because she want to take a picture and want a video and all this other kind of stuff. Like, live in the moment. Everything is not meant to be captured. Like, our minds can hold more memories than any of these things. Like, than any of these phones or devices, or things that we may have. And so we do have to definitely learn how to just, like, enjoy the moment. And I think I have did this quote on here, and I think I told you guys it was a Buddha quote, but it's really not. It was Lorenzo Lasso Tide, TAU, something like that, Tide too, but it's something like that. But when he was just thinking about, if you're living in the past, then you're depressed. You know what I'm saying? If you're living in the future, then you're anxious. But if you're at peace, then you're most likely living in the present moment. You know what I'm saying? So we can't do anything about the things that happened yesterday. We can't really we do have control over the things that's going to happen tomorrow, but it's all based off what we do in the present moment today. It's going to affect tomorrow, but there's no need to be anxious about it if you're comfortable in the things that you're doing today. So, and just being present and being in the present moment of what it is that you're, you're living in today. And so it brings me into this conversation. I was having a discussion on Facebook about creative faith. And you guys know I'm a Moorish American, so creative faith is one of the things that's real big in Islam. And so when it talks about creative faith, what people ask, well, what is creative faith? And that's kind of what we were discussing, because in the Quran it says, creative faith gave to spirit man a soul that he may function on a plane of soul. He gave to the soul a body of flesh that he may function on the plane of things may manifest, right? And so then you think about these things of so then you have to go deeper into how you use these things. Like, what is your soul? You know what I'm saying? Like, how and then of course we know what the body is, we know what the vehicle is, but how do these things differentiate? How are you using them to the best of your ability to be godlike, Christ-like, however you want to say it, to be divine, to be love made manifest, like to just basically be a good person, and be able to enjoy life, like enjoy the things that are on the plane of manifest, because a lot of people go through this life struggling. You get a lot of people that are depressed, you get a lot of people that contemplate suicide, you get a lot of people that just don't enjoy life. It's always seeming hard. There's always, if it ain't one thing, it's another. It's always some type of hurdle to jump over. You got to learn how to deal with so many different things: grief, hurt, heartbreak. Like, so much things go into living, like literally living, and people don't, and a lot of people don't enjoy that. I personally feel like the knowledge of this is knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, right? So, but the knowledge of creative faith, the knowledge of your ability to just knowing yourself, what your body is capable of, what your soul is capable of, like knowing that knowledge helps navigate the plane of manifest. See, the thing I look at it as, and I think I might have told you guys this a long time ago, but I'm gonna tell you again. it's like water. I look at like our body, our soul, our spirit, you know, like water. So, and the reason that I say that is because water, you know, you have three stages of water. You have the gas stage, which is vapor, you know, which is it's not contained in any space, and it feels whatever, you know, it feels space, like it's uncontainable. Then you have the solid form, which is, or no, then you have the water form, the liquid form. So then, you know, liquid, so um vapor condense turns into liquid, you know what I'm saying? And then you get the water stage. And while liquid basically it fills space, it flows freely, you know what I'm saying? But it's also contained by whatever. If you put it into a container, it is contained by whatever space it is filling in that moment, you know. And then you got ice, which is the solid form, the hard form, you know what I'm saying? And so, and it's gonna make sense to y'all in a minute, right? So now if you go back up, right? So, or okay, so let's just go from liquid to solid, so to ice. Now, the liquid, the water is still present in the ice form. You know what I'm saying? Like without it, there would be no ice. You know what I'm saying? So it's still present. However, you cannot see it. You cannot, you know what I'm saying? You know it's water because it's water, but it's the physical form of it. So it's still present. But if you go back to the liquid stage, so we still got this water, we still got the vapor. The vapor is still present in this liquid stage, but ice is no longer there. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer there. The physical hold of, you know what I'm saying, mode of ice is not there, right? Same thing on the vapor. On the vapor stage, it's condensed, so the water is still there, but the form is not seen. So the vapor is still contained in the water. It's still contained in the water is still contained in ice. You know what I'm saying? But as you go back up, it doesn't work the same way, right? Now, let me tell you why I say this is the same thing when it comes to us as humans. So you got the spirit, you got the soul, and then you got your body, which you got, you know what I'm saying, your physical form. That's your ice stage. You know what I'm saying? Your body, this is your ice stage. Your soul is your water stage. You know what I'm saying? Our soul is housed in our minds. Is our soul is housed, is contained in this body. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's contained in this body. And then you know, your spirit, which is oneness with God. You know what I'm saying? When you like transition, everything like that. I can't tell you what that stage feel like or look like, but I know it's there. I have faith that it's there. Okay. But yeah, so like that's just like my easiest way to explain it to people, or that I try to explain it to people, especially when we're talking about it. But everything has its own purpose, and it's the same thing when it comes to humans. So when it says creative faith gave us a body that we may function on a plane of on the plane of things may manifest, right? Your soul couldn't just be ramming in the things of plain manifest. You're not going to be able to type on a computer. You're not going to be able to answer phone. You're not going to be able to, you know, eat, taste, smell, all these things that you do, senses to your body. You know what I'm saying? Eat, taste, smell, hear, all these, see, you know what I'm saying? All those type of things like that or whatever. You couldn't do that. And the soul couldn't do it without the body. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the plane of manifest, the things that we can physically see, touch, make, you know, eat, drink, like those are that is the plane of manifest. You know what I'm saying? This earth is the plane of manifest, things that we can physically knock on, this desk, this computer, like this camera, like, you know what I'm saying? It's all part of the things may manifest, all part of the plane of manifest. But then you also have a soul plane. The soul plane is a little bit more tricky because people don't really teach you about the soul plane. We're not really taught about the soul plane and how to really use the soul plane. Well, I mean, I'm saying we, but I'm really talking about y'all. Not just saying, but I'm saying just most people in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, just most people in general, because when you certain different people have certain knowledge, you know, and then not, because knowledge is infinite, so all depends on the studying that you do. It all depends on what you feed your brain, like what you feed yourself. So you can't never really just go thinking that, we know everything or anything like that. Just always know that there's probably something out there that you don't know. Right? But however, so it says thinking, willing, understanding, reasoning, these call these not the soul, but these actions, right? So it's the actions of the soul. When we think about the mind, I said the mind houses the soul, and this is very relevant, and this is very real, because just think about a person that's brain dead. Their body is still here. You know what I'm saying? Their soul is not in there. There's no thinking, there's no understanding, there's no reasoning, there's no, what I'm saying? There's nothing. They're all they are is in a vegetative state. Their body is still there. But the soul has been left, right? Because it's housed in the mind. And it's where we control our thoughts. And so when I think about creative faith, I think about the power of choice. Everything that we go through in our life has to do with a choice that we have made, whether you want to accept that or take accountability for that. But it is, you know what I'm saying, the things that and now granted, things happen around us, you know what I'm saying, that affect us, but we all have the choice of how we react or how we respond to it. So like I said, it's every moment is a choice. So if you really think about, I read the spiritual 7 spiritual laws of success, right? If you guys haven't seen it, I was gonna say I probably could try to show you because it's right here, but it talks about thinking, how many choices do you think you make a day? How often are you aware of the choices that you're making? You know what I'm saying? Like how aware of you thinking of, this is a choice. Or are you just on autopilot? Because a lot of people move off of autopilot. And it's kind of sometimes it's very hindering when you just move off of autopilot and you're having no control of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not having a control over anything that's going on. So to be just on autopilot I don't even know what to call it, but it's not somewhere you should want to be. Like I want to be fully aware of the choices that I'm making. So because if my life is not going the way that I want my life to go, I know that I have the ability, creative faith gave me the ability to make this choice, to change my thoughts, to decide what am I going to think, decide what am I going to do. If I don't want high blood pressure, I can decide what am I going to eat today. How many times I'm going to eat today. If I want to lose weight, if I don't like the way my body looks, like all these type of things, like we literally have choices, and the choices that we make literally affect all these type of things and affect our life in a sense of where it's going. And how it's going. Now, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be obstacles. I tell people all the time, if there's no obstacles, you dead. You know what I'm saying? Like point blank period. Because you have to be challenged. The moment that you decide that you want to change something about your life, the universe going to start throwing all the tests at you. If you decide that, I remember when, okay, I'm a woman, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm an Asiatic woman. I got locks now, but I used to get perms, right? And so on the day, I might not ever scratch my head. You know what I'm saying? But on the day I decide that that I'm gonna perm my hair, for some reason my head just itch. But I have a choice at that moment if I'm gonna make it. That's because the universe know you about to get a perm. So it's gonna say, are you gonna scratch or are you not gonna scratch? You know what I'm saying? So it's to say, I want to stop getting an attitude, or I want to stop getting upset. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that person anymore. You know what's going to happen? You're going to get people coming at you that are going to be doing things that would normally make you upset, that would normally give you an attitude, to just see what choice are you going to make in that time. Are you going to hold fast to your will, to your discipline, to what you said that it is that you want to do? Or are you going to fall on this hurdle? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to trip over this obstacle? Like, are you going to fall in the hole? Or are you going to jump over it? But they're still always going to be there because you can't control other people. You cannot control other people. And trust and believe, like I said, it's a test. Life is a test. When we think about schools and things like that, it's like they say when you're in school, you study, you learn a lesson, you know what I'm saying? You study, then you take the test. In life, you take the test, and then based on how you do, you gonna learn and then have to retake it and study and all this other kind of stuff or whatever, depending on all the type of different tests that can come at you. I gotta take a break. I'm over my break time. I'm just running my mouth. So I have to take a break real fast, but I ask that you guys just bear with me. Let us get our sponsorships out the way. And yeah, I'll be right back in about 90 seconds. Take this time to like, share, make a comment or two in the video, share it to your friends and friends so they'll come in and tap in for the second half. I'll be right back. Mr. Walker? Oh.
Wait a minute. Let me set this thing up.
Yep. Everybody saying they can't. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Let's see. Okay, so let's just start that all the way over. Uh, sorry that you guys couldn't hear me. Are you sure I'm there now? 'Cause I don't see no titles. Everybody, okay. Maybe it's just behind. Sorry, y'all. Y'all gotta let us get this together. Y'all know, it's just a little technical, technicalities. All right, so let's start this all the way over. Appreciate you guys. Okay, appreciate you guys bearing with me for a while. We took our break again, letting our sponsorships get out the way, letting us pay the bills. Again, if you have an event or a business that you would like to sponsor here on KUAW, make sure to send us an email at kuaw985 at gmail.com. Again, this is The Truth Be Told. We're live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So yes, again, appreciate you guys for joining me. So a good conversation the first half of the show. I definitely appreciate everyone tapping in and watching and everything with me. Again, just wanted to touch on those topics a little bit. Normally I normally do like kind of like a relationship type themed around something in my second half, but I'm not gonna do that today because I've seen something that's been heavy on my mind ever since I seen it. Thank you, Mr. Walker, for letting me know. And sis, I see you. Hey sis. But thank you. So okay, interracial adoption and fostering. The reason I want to talk about this is because like you have a lot of celebrities that have interracial adoptions, and they you see a lot of things like their sons being dressed in like dresses and all kind of stuff like that. That's mainly really what you see. It's like kind of like the emasculation of like our young boys in a sense, especially when it comes to like those people, and then with girls, their hair. Like to me that's the main thing, is their hair. Like it's crazy. And then so yeah, but the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because I was overhearing a conversation, and because I know this girl, I have a coworker, and she recently was, we was all excited, she was going through her classes and everything to become a foster parent, and she was really excited about this and everything like that. Well, she finally got placed, with children and everything. She got placed with 3 Asiatic children, all under the age of 3, like 2, 1, and months, right? So, but I was just overhearing her talking, and she was frustrated, saying how bad and out of control they were, and how she has never experienced anything like that, when it came to children. And yeah, it was intense. Like it was really intense. Like me personally, I felt like we needed to have a conversation so I can help her understand her children more, or be like better parenting to her children, because I do feel like it's a difference. And you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Do you feel like it should be a difference? I know like earlier I was saying that we're humans and we have to see each other as humans and treat each other as humans and things like that. But however, there are significant differences, you know what I'm saying, between us. There are significant differences. They talk about, even when you think about discipline, they talk about how Europeans go more of a timeout rate. They kind of let their children talk to them any kind of way. Like y'all didn't see the videos. I know I ain't the only one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of throw fits. Like sometimes it seems like they really have no discipline. But and then I'm just imagining like someone that is like frustrated. Now, see, here's the crazy thing, and this is where people be saying I sound racist. So I'm sorry if y'all say that. But here's the one thing I can say. This is one thing I can say. We can handle their children. I'm gonna let you know that right now. I don't feel like it would be a problem, like, you know what I'm saying, with us on the, but when it's vice versa, I feel like there's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just a struggle. There's a struggle in communication, there's a struggle in discipline, there's a struggle in grooming. Um right. And that's another thing. It's like even dealing with the mental capacity. You know what I'm saying? Just how we process things, how we understand things, how we get through things, you know? It's just it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like um I feel like there are some differences, you know. But it's hard, you know, it's hard. And it's you even think about and see, I'm not even so much more so even with like homosexual, you know, a lot of people say that homosexuals shouldn't adopt children, right? And I'm not even in a sense of all the way like just against that, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that because someone has like gay parents or homosexual parents that they're going to be a homosexual. Like I feel like they just have a broader spectrum of what, you know, life and love is, you know. I don't necessarily feel like that it's gonna make them that way. I don't feel like that they will harm children, because if you have a love for children, you have a love for children, you know. So I don't necessarily feel any kind of danger or nothing like when it comes to that. You know, that's one thing that you hear a lot. I do feel like it should be resources. There should be a lot of resources for interracial like adoption and fostering, just to help I like cope with, because see, to me it was like the things that she was describing to me just sound like normal children. You know what I'm saying? Like it sound like normal children, right? I mean, and I was a preschool teacher, so I've been around, you know, multiple races of children and, you know, certain ages, you know. Um but just those things that she was saying, like I was just yelling, like just how she was describing talking to him and trying to resolve her issues that she was having with them, and just I could just hear the frustration in her voice. Like when she, you know what I'm saying? Like I could just hear the frustration. It was to the point where she's like, I just didn't know what to do. Like I wanted to tear my hair out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't know what to do. And that's why I feel like there should be, you know, resources for these type of things to make sure that the child is still developing in a way that's going to be beneficial to who they are. And um and I don't think that it's crazy to say this, but I mean, we see it all the time, you know what I'm saying? Even as adults, even in workplaces, I don't really feel like the understanding of who we are and, you know, Europeans is very like understood in a sense. And I hope I'm choosing my words right. Like I hope I'm saying the right words to trying to get across like what I'm saying, because I don't want to come off a certain type of way. Like I don't want to come off racist or anything like that, because I definitely don't feel like that, you know, in my heart. Like to me, racism requires hate. And there's no hate, you know what I'm saying? But we have to be able to respect and talk about the differences. Um, when you are raising children, you can't be lazy. You have to have energy, plenty of energy. Definitely, I feel like plenty of energy and plenty of patience. I definitely and I feel like you gotta have, like, with patience comes also just like understanding. Um, and like, because I feel like if a child is acting out, you know, you should be able to talk. If you feel like they're acting out, most of the time children act out because of like attention. They feel like they're lacking attention in some area, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that. But other than that, but see, you do have real issues like autism. You have real issues like ADHD, which are showing up more, showing up more in our children, which I feel is because of vaccinations. But that's for another show. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another show. We're not going to talk about that. But there are a lot of things. And then you think about, like I said, they're in foster care, so you don't know if their parents had a drug addiction or anything like that when they were born, or, you know what I'm saying, those type of things take into consideration of behavior and how they process things. And Okay, so yep. Sorry. Okay. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. We had a crash, then the sound went off again and everything like that. So we getting it together. So I apologize. But again, I don't, like I was saying that I feel like it will be more that if I was saying, like, with these children, that if they had someone of their own nationality, in a sense, in my mind. Oh, well, this is what I was saying. This is the disclaimer. I know this is the truth be told, but this whole segment, I'm just letting y'all know, has been my opinion. This is just something that I was thinking about, and how I feel. I don't think there's any statistics on it, because at the end of the day, if a child is in foster care or needed for adoption, whoever is willing and capable of doing it and helping that child have a steady home, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that there should be resources, because there are differences, and we should be aware of these differences and recognize these differences and provide resources to be able to help people move through these. I feel like if they had someone that was more relatable to what it is that they were going through, how they were feeling, like, what I'm saying, things like that, then it would be easier to guide them into the way of where it is not trauma, where it's not childhood trauma, like locked in childhood trauma. You know what I'm saying? I think they will be able to help them cope with what it is that they're going through, or being more patient with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like words are powerful too. I don't even like for people to call children bad. Like, you know what I'm saying, to their face. Like, I don't feel like those are the type of things that you should say, what I'm saying, to your children. I feel like you should speak in empowering words and positive affirmations, what I'm saying, to your children. And so I just felt, and like I said, I don't know, because I don't know how to say it without sounding like, I'm not saying like this just shouldn't happen. I'm just saying I feel like it would just be a better situation if it was kind of like that. I know everything is not neat and dry, cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? Like how it is, or anything like that. Like, so it's always exceptions. You got people that learn, everyone is probably capable of learning how to handle certain situations, or being a little bit more patient, but when someone is clearly frustrated, like, to the point where she made the comment of, I started to call the people and ask them if I could send them back. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It gets real sad, because do we have enough of our people that's even trying to get into the fostering system, or even trying to adopt children? You know what I'm saying? Are we too busy having them, putting them in a system? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother conversation. It's like, is it even enough of us going around that can help, like, the load, the supply and demand of, before you can even say anything like that? So maybe just like a resource center or some type of resources would be like just better than obviously just saying like no interracial fostering, or or what I'm saying, or adoption, or anything like that. But I definitely do think it causes some childhood traumas that you are eventually gonna have to heal from. um Probably like a lot of some acceptance, maybe some self-doubt, like some self-endearing that you would have to put more into. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like it's some abandonment. Like, if you're not properly nurtured through the things that you're going through, then you grow up into an adult that has all these childhood traumas that you have to deal with and that you have to try to heal. So I definitely just send a prayer for anyone that's doing it. Again, if I praise anyone that's willing to take a child into your home and raise them, and whether that's adoption or whether that's fostering. I just feel like it takes a strong individual to do things like that, a very loving individual to do things like that. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I know it's about time for me to get out of here. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that, because it was on my mind, and I kind of wanted to see how you guys, felt about it, and how you thought about it. So leave a comment on this video, or if you go back and rewatch it, leave a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, just leave a comment. I go back and read it because I just really like to know how people really think and how their mind goes. But that is my time. I'm gonna leave you guys with the Holy Covenant Asiatic Nation. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother has given you suck. Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace.